what is your opinion on the idea that, 20, 30 years from now that robots could take over our jobs?
It's not even a fear. It's just something that is going to happen. You have like up and coming systems such as ChatGPT that do a lot of things and help a lot and is a constant learning system. And I would say if they were to implement ChatGPT into jobs like a system that would resemble a bit and be better and more improved, that would take a lot of people's jobs. And with the world becoming more automatic in terms of machines and everything, if we keep developing systems like that, it's good. There's going to be a point where a lot of people are going to be out of jobs because robots will be doing it for them, or just online systems that will be doing it for them.
What kind of jobs do you think something like ChatGPT would be taking?
I would say in the medical field,
Mm.
if at some point they manage to be able to get machines to do a doctor's job perfectly without margin of error and just better than any human would be, then it could affect anything, from factory workers to, I think, no job is safe, because if you can teach an online system to do something or a robot to do something, then at some point any job is up for the taking by robots or by technology itself.
Oh, I think that depends. I don't think that's necessarily true. Like, for example, if you talk about the medical field, right? Like, I still think there's positions in the medical field where people with like human consciousness and ability to make like moral decisions will still have a place. Like, a robot can't maybe decide whether to save, one person or the other, right? Like, let's say you're in a situation, there's two people who are both in need of immediate surgery. It could be like a lung surgery or something. You only have one lung. Who does it go to? On one bed it's a 80-year-old man who's near the end of
Yeah,
his life,
but if you
and
have
on the
more
other side it's a
machines,
kid. Like, how's a robot going to make that decision?
but I didn't say that they would take over completely from all the jobs. I just said that they were going to take over a lot of jobs. For example, let's say a medical team has has a team made of 20 workers. Let's say that's team one.
Yeah,
And then let's say you can bring in a robot that can do the job of 10 people. 10 people are going to be out of the job. You get what I mean? I don't mean
sure.
all the important positions are going to be taken. I think humans should keep the important positions, but if you look at the latter, I think robots will be able to take a lot of jobs away from people, and a lot of people will suffer for it.
Mm. Do you think that those people could possibly shift into other areas? Because when I was, thinking of this topic and things, one of the ideas that I came up with, or one of the ideas I had is like, for example, today, right, even without robotization, right, um, we have a huge shift to people who are like working in entertainment, like YouTube, movies, actors, and stuff like that. Like, it could be one possibility that, people will start shifting more into that kind of,
Industry.
um, yeah, that kind of industry, right? Because no matter what you do, robots can't take that over, right? I mean, sure, they can do things like maybe edit your video or something like that, but like they can't be content producers, for example. They can't be original enough to think of blockbuster movies or films, or they can't have artistic styles that make people unique. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's gonna get 7 billion people in the world employed, but I'm saying that's an example of, for example, I think somewhere where people could start working more in that industry while robots take up maybe more, let's say, dirty jobs. Like, maybe robots could take, um, you know, being taking out the trash, or like jobs that are not so nice, not so fun to do, right? Maybe even lower paying jobs. And the rest of society could shift to a different spectrum of, work. What do you think about that?
I completely disagree with you when it comes to your example of, oh, people could switch up to the entertainment industry and others, because especially when it comes to the entertainment industry, in order to be able to make a life out of it, you have to be able to have an income. And
Mhm.
a lot of people won't be able to do that. A lot of people won't be able to generate that income from YouTube because those big YouTubers, they create content and they've been around the field for like 10 years. And it's something that you can't just switch up and start from the beginning and earn like that. And when it comes to movies and stuff, if you know, it's not all of the actors like that are trying to make it in the industry have part-time jobs because acting does not sustain their expenses, the payment that they get. You have to be like a big actor or a semi-big actor to make at least enough money to be able to live off of just acting in movies. So I disagree with your point there. You could just switch up to entertainment industry. You can, but you got to be dedicated and you got to work very hard in order to be able to make a living out of it. And like,
Understandable. But don't you think that if society did shift, also the societal norms would also shift, right? Like maybe now in our current situation, that's unthinkable because yes, people who are running, content and content creation that's, not popular stuff. Yes, they don't have any revenue and things like that. But, if society did shift in that direction, maybe it would become like a job. Like the fact that you were on YouTube or stuff, you were meant like monthly paid or something like that is a possibility. But I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen. But it was a hypothesis that I wanted to talk about.